Without the new flood expertise, hardly any of the residents would have been able to afford home ownership here. But the new flood expertise indicated 0.5 meter for a 10-year flood and 1.5 meter for a 100-year flood. Expensive properties, unaffordable for ordinary people, became a red zone, a flood zone, and a building ban for all conventional houses. The surcharge for Option Venezia for the GEMINI next generation houses was only a tiny fraction of what these plots lost in value. Yay, homeownership not somewhere in a remote area, but exactly where properties were only affordable for the richest 1% of the population. The hamlet has a lot of battery capacity to sell the solar power on the spot market at the best price. But on sunny weekends, there can be so many hours with negative prices that even this is not enough. This is the ideal time to charge an electric car. This is how the energy transition works. This is how climate protection works. These 16 families were previously energy consumers. Now they are self-sufficient and feed large amounts of solar power into the grid as needed. The hamlet occupies 1 hectare and has 1 megawatt of photovoltaics. In Austria, the annual yield is 850 megawatt hours. In very sunny countries, up to 1,700 megawatt hours. These houses were built on the other side of the river at a time when the risk of flooding in this area was still greatly underestimated. The weather forecast looks very bad. Flooding may occur. A few hours later, residents are asked to evacuate. Flooding of up to 1 meter is expected. It's time to push the garages and parking platforms out into the open. Empty platforms start floating at 50 millimeter water depth, fully loaded at 200 millimeter water depth. It is no longer possible to push a garage outside of more than 900 millimeter water depth. Depending on the height of parked cars, platforms can be pushed outside also at a higher water depth. Double garages can carry up to 4.5 tons, platforms up to 6.5 tons. There is a safety reserve of 1.5 tons. The central structure is not floatable because the effort involved would be too great. This is why the floatable platforms and garages have to be taken out into the open in the event of flooding. But the Volkswagen ID-Buzz is too heavy for a garage and can therefore only be parked on a platform. The Tesla Cybertruck is not only too heavy, but also too long for a garage, so it can only be parked on a platform. At a water depth of 500 millimeter, the air chambers under the house are inflated and displace the water in the low-temperature heat storage under the house. At each corner of the house remains connected to the foundation screws with a steel cable. The neighbors on the other side decided against the evacuation because they thought the flood would never reach the second floor. Better to use the time to move everything of value to the second floor. But now it's getting tight. More greenhouse gases in the atmosphere mean more extreme weather events. It is not possible to abandon all settlement areas where extreme weather could lead to flooding. This would lead to a shortage and price explosion for land in safe areas. We helped the neighbors to bring their property to safety. The GEMINI Next Generation House is a thoroughly cost-optimized solution for the energy transition, but also for maintaining the habitability of endangered areas. Our mission statement: planet renovation back to 350 ppm CO2. We contribute house by house. In the new hamlet, all the houses have drawers to replace cellars. They have so much space that most residents have not even filled half of the drawers. All of the neighbors' possessions can be stowed away with ease.
Thank you again that everything went well. Never again a house that can't swim, that just stands there helplessly and the water rises higher and higher.